Welcome back. This is the Chillinois Basketball Podcast. I'm Chase Swearingen, and as usual with me is Noah Morgano. He's got the Bratislav hat on today. Once again, it's a good luck hat at this point, so we
Good
got to
luck, hat. Gotta wear it. Two
uh,
games in a row predicted correctly.
that is the case, and we got to keep it going. I agree. So, big win for the Illini in their first Big Ten matchup on the road. Uh, the last few days against Ohio State. They now have another matchup, this time their Big Ten home opener. This game will be played in Champaign on Saturday against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who are ranked number 23 in the nation coming into this game. The Illini moved up one spot in the most recent AP poll. They are now number 13 in the country. Um, Big Ten games are never easy, as we alluded to before. The Illini got the job done against Ohio State, but this is an entirely new test in a Nebraska team that I think is a little bit underrated. Um, the question still remains, have they played anybody good yet? Have they played anybody up to Illinois? Obviously not up to Illinois' talent level. But this Nebraska team is on the longest winning streak in the country right now, dating back to last year when they won the Crown Invitational. They
Yes.
won 14 straight games.
DePaul was also in the Crown Invitational,
I
and they
was either
got
going to be you or
spanked.
me. It was going to be you or me that gave DePaul a shout out for that postseason tournament they played in for the first time in a while. But either way,
Cincinnati just spanked us.
yeah, that wasn't fun to watch, but maybe we'll get to the NIT this year. Anyways, Nebraska won that tournament, and now they've won their first 10 games. They took down Wisconsin pretty handily last night, 90 to 60 in Lincoln, um, against a Wisconsin team that a lot of people thought wouldn't be in the top four of the Big Ten, but could compete for maybe between eight and five. I think Nebraska made them look like they might be in the bottom tier of the Big Ten yesterday. There's a lot to break down with this Nebraska game upcoming for the Illini, and that's why we're here. But I'm just going to start off with Rinkmast. As a guy who loves watching 6'11" guys, 7 footers just kind of bang down low in the post for the Big Ten players. Rinkmast is one of my favorite players to watch. I was watching that Sleepers podcast earlier, and they kind of made a point that people just kind of forgot who this guy was. He got injured all of last year, so he wasn't playing last season and people forgot who he was. Uh, he's back with vengeance. He looks really strong, and I think he reminds me a lot of if I had to make a player comparison so early on in this season, he's giving me shades of Kofi Coburn's son, Hunter Dickinson, or at least what Hunter Dickinson wish he was in the Big Ten, because Rinkmast can bang down low. He's kind of a low down there, and he can also step out and be an offensive threat from beyond the arc. So it's going to be a test for Thomas Love and Zvonimir and whoever else is guarding him down low. But on the Illini side, if you're Brad and you're keying towards one player that they got to stop this game, Rinkmass is the first guy I'm looking at, especially with Connor Essegian going down with an ankle injury. He'll be out for the rest of the season. So they take that three-point shooter away with injury. But Rinkmass, do you have any thoughts on him? Do you have, if you were Brad, what's your game plan going at him, going at
Yeah,
Nebraska in general?
it's gonna be a tough matchup for sure. I think he's a very skilled big man. He's not the tallest guy on the court necessarily, but probably the best player on the court.
No, he's 6'10". Okay, so he's not a 7 footer, but he is a 6'10" player.
Yeah,
Taller than I
so I mean, you maybe want to stick Merck on him. You maybe want to stick Tommy on him. Maybe Ben can match up with him a little bit. I mean, it's going to be really tough just because Illinois, up to this point, has not shown that they can handle the star talent, the top ends, these different players of the world. They can't really seem to contain them. I mean, they couldn't contain Thornton last game. He popped off. So maybe it's just a scenario where you let the best guy score and then you contain everybody else and you hope that he can't do what Toppin did. I don't mind that approach, but eventually one of these days you're going to play a team that has more than one really good player. But it's going to have to be rebounding. I mean, obviously, because listen, I did a lot of research for this game. I did so much. And by that, I mean I watched the Sleepers media preview about 15 minutes ago. And they kept saying, this team, they limit the twos. They make you shoot the threes. In Illinois, they love to shoot the threes. But if you're going to shoot this many threes, you got to make sure you're getting some offensive rebounds, which at the beginning of the season, they looked great. They looked like they could they were one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. Last few games, just very, very disappointed in that performance. So they're going to have to step it back up. They're going to have to dominate. They're going to have to show their size. They're going to have to get some big boards. I think Big Z could be a key, just swatting some balls, grabbing some boards. Tommy, if he can make his threes, he could be the key factor. He could be the MVP of the game. But that's what it's going to come down to, rebounding and actually making the threes. Because if they're going to let him have, if they're going to let you have it, you got to take it. You got to take full advantage of it. So it's going to be a shootout, I think. I haven't really predicted a shootout yet this season, but I think this one's going to be a shootout.
And on the flip end, though, if it is a shootout, Nebraska's no slouch when it comes to shooting the three ball either. They make on average 11 a game, which was third in the Big Ten before they played Wisconsin. I'm not sure where the stats are at after that game, but they are certainly in the upper echelon in terms of teams that can shoot the ball. Now, the Illini will have the size advantage in this game. They've got two 7-footers. Buchtengel is pretty tall. I don't know exactly how tall he is, but I think he's either the same height as Rinkmast. But they've got two Europeans themselves that'll be tall, banging in with the Ivisic brothers, so that'll be fun to watch. But another key player for the Nebraska Cornhuskers I'd like to
Is there
highlight.
going to be some European beef? Hold on. Is there going to be European beef? Did we
I
take that
mean,
into consideration?
I don't know if there's any beef between Croatia and the Netherlands, and then Buchtengel's
The
from Turkey.
Netherlands?
Yeah, Rinkmast is from the Netherlands, and then Berk Buchtengel, I think that's his first name. He is from Turkey. So I'm not sure the history between those three countries, but
Nobody likes Turkey, I can tell you that. Turkey's got beef with everybody in Europe, so it wouldn't
so
surprise me.
it might come out on the court on Saturday afternoon. But another player that's not European, I'd like to highlight for the Cornhuskers at least. And he's not the most, I mean, he's not the biggest scorer for the Cornhuskers, but he's kind of their glue guy. He's kind of their Kylan Boswell, and it's Fred Hoiberg's son, Sam Hoiberg. He only averages 8.2 points per game, but in that game against Wisconsin, I watched that entire game just to kind of break down the film. He was the guy that got everything started. He's an elite cutter. He's also a really elite slasher with the ball in his hands. He's kind of short. He's only 6 feet, so it's hard for him to finish inside, especially when he's going to be playing two 7-footers. But he's really good with his first step. He's really good at getting into the lane. And then Nebraska, what they do best is shoot the three ball. So when you got a guy who can get inside and collapse the defense and kick it out, it usually bodes pretty well for you. Now, Sam Hoiberg, if I had to give a player comparison, this is going to give the Illini fans some, I said heebie-jeebies, but this is like a boogeyman for the Illini I'm bringing up here. He kind of reminds me of Jordan Bohannon. He's a little shorter. It feels like he's played at Nebraska for 7 years now, just like Jordan Bohannon. I thought he played at Nebraska for 8 or 9 years at Iowa. But it just felt like whenever the Illini played Jordan Bohannon, he was a thorn in their side. He'd score 30 points. And if he didn't score 30 points, he was hitting a clutch three at the end of the game, which Sam Hoiberg has shown he can do. Now, in this matchup, it's going to be interesting to watch because we'll probably have Kylan Boswell on him. I think Kylan Boswell can defend Sam Hoiberg. I'm confident in that statement. But the Illini typically let the short little white guard get to them in the past, and you're getting more and more European here as this podcast goes on, Noah.
Yeah, I just my Balkan is seriously coming out right now, so I just had to do it to him. Ooh.
No, it's totally fair. It's a good look for you. But yeah, I'm looking at Sam Hoiberg in this game. Him, obviously Rinkmast, who could be a Big Ten first team player if all goes well for him and if he continues to play like he has so far. And then one more guy I highlight for Nebraska, Braden Fagan, who's a freshman for them. He's kind of like that dirty he gives me a little bit of he's not as good and he's a freshman too, but he gives me a little bit of Grayson Allen in terms of like he might trip a player if you're not careful. So I'm looking to him because this is going to be a game. This is going to be a test on the road for Nebraska for the first time. And we're going to see if that Illini crowd can get to them. Now, Nebraska has played some okay teams. They've played Kansas State. They've beaten Oklahoma. So they've shown they can play these power conference teams and win. They also played on some neutral court. They have played some neutral court games, and they won those games as well. But if you look at the Ken Palm ratings here, the highest Ken Palm team that Nebraska's played so far is Oklahoma at number 58. I guess or after last night, Wisconsin, who's number 26 currently. I'm not sure that rating is accurate at the moment because I'm sure they fell a little bit. But the Illini have played number 7, number 13, and have beaten number 18, 19, and number 35. Um, so all of the Illini wins. Oh, adding on to that, Nebraska's number 42 in Ken Palm. So the Illini wins have been against stronger opponents. This is a home game, which I like for the Illini. Once again, another midday game, which I dislike, and I know I've said that so many times on this podcast. But um, if you had to make a prediction, what are you looking out for, at least on the Illini side? Because this will be a tough game for them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty tough. They're going to have to play good defense, like you're saying. I mean, Nebraska can shoot the ball, so you're going to want to limit that. Luckily, that's something that Brad Underwood focuses on is limiting those three-point shots. He likes to make you take the tough twos, likes to make you drive inside. Rankmast could be pretty good at that, so we'll see. I mean, he's got some size to him, and Illinois generally is not good at defending big men. So it's going to be a physical game, probably. I mean, we saw the Nebraska-Wisconsin game; they were getting bloodied up, fist fighting people. It was crazy. I mean, it was an insane environment, and I thought that the game was at Nebraska, so I'm thinking, man, this is going to be a tough game. But I found out it's in Champaign. That
Oh yeah,
makes me feel a lot better. And I think
still at
Illinois'
3 p.m.
crowd, they can be just as hype. So it's going to be a really good, like, away crowd for Nebraska, probably their first real road test of the year.
Mhm.
But I mean, they're always good. I mean, they were, we went to overtime like 2 out of the last 3 years we played them. So they always show up. But I like to think that this Illinois team is better than previous years. I like to think that they can, you know, if they're able to really instill their will, smash on them real early, just break their spirit, then I hope that Illinois can pull out ahead. I mean, it'd be great if we could actually maintain a lead throughout half into the second half. I mean, what was the game where the Texas Tech game, we had this huge lead at halftime. I'm like, oh, this game's over. Come out of half, and then then Texas Tech's up in like 5 minutes. So it would be nice if they can have the lead at halftime, but not only that, but maintain the lead. I just have a funny feeling Nebraska is going to start out cold, and then they're just going to heat up, and it's going to be, back and forth at the very end. I I don't see Nebraska winning this one. It's just one of those games where this again, like I said last prediction, until Illinois shows me that they can't handle these games, they're not the top tier games. They're not the best. They're not playing Duke and UConn, and they're playing, Ohio States, and so it's not like, oh, can you beat the best of the best? It's can you beat the pretty good teams? Everybody in the Big Ten's pretty good, but ultimately, I mean, when you look at when you look at the player, I mean, Rank Mast, is he first team? Would you say?
I'd argue if he continues to play like he has been,
I would say
yeah.
so.
Let me look at his stats real quick.
But
He's
they are a top
averaging,
25 team. I mean, you could make the argument that they're,
yeah,
a
he's
like,
averaging 18, 6, and 3 a game on 54% from the field. So
yeah, that's pretty
I think
good.
those are all Big Ten numbers, at least to start this season. We'll see how that continues during conference plays,
But
obviously.
they haven't showed me yet that they can't handle those games. So I'm gonna keep, betting on them. I don't actually bet on him, but I would bet on him. I'd bet on him every game.
He's been
And I'm
solid.
gonna predict him every game. Shout out to Carl. Carl, where were you at in the last video? We didn't see in the comment section, so you gotta go back and let us know what you thought of the episode. But no, I mean to get to my prediction, I do think Illinois is gonna win. I think they're gonna win in a high scoring game. I think MVP, if it's gonna get down to a 3-point shootout, I mean, dare I say, corner three, Jake Davis, MVP of the game. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I think he's gonna go because dude, he is like Nebraska. Like he's got the whole vibe. He's like a white boy, but if he was in Nebraska, he'd like run the streets over there. They'd
Do you
fear
think
him because he's got
is
a little bit
this,
of swagger to him.
is this
Ne-
the Jake Davis game? Like he scores 12 or 15 points and he's 5 of 7 from three, or do you think this is just like Jake Davis steps up and hits a big corner three,
No,
kind of ices the game for the Illini?
no, I think it's going to be a big game. I think he's going to get hot early and Brad's going to roll with it. And it's just going to be like the crowd's going to hype it up so much. So Brad's going to have to keep it going.
They
And
love
it's
the
just going to be like, oh my goodness, this kid just can't miss. And it's going to be him and like, this is my prediction. They're going to have Tommy drive it inside and just kick it out to Jake. And he's whoosh, corner three every time. So I think final score, I'm going to go Illinois 93. I'm going Nebraska 87. And I do think Hoiberg is a great coach. I mean, I think he's one of the best coaches in the Big Ten. I got a lot of respect for him. So I think that again, you know, if it comes down to coach versus coach, I mean, Hoiberg might have the slight edge in terms of who do you think is more, who do you trust more in that situation? Although I am trusting Brad more and more, and you hope it doesn't get to that situation. You hope that Illinois can just take care of business right off the bat. But it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be both teams shooting the lights out.
So 93 to 87 is what you said?
Yes.
That is okay. So I like where your head's at with the Illinois victory. I like your where your head's at with kind of a shootout, but I'm not sure we're going to see over 180 points in a Big Ten game. That would be quite the
I
fireworks on
think the
the field.
refs got a talking to last game. They're like, you guys
Hey,
got to
let them
stop
play.
blowing the whistle so much, and then they're going to let the boys play.
I wouldn't
That's why
mind seeing it.
you saw them getting beat up the other night, dude. Like they're letting them play now. So who knows?
I mean, I like where your head's at. I'm not going to give an official score prediction, as we know I don't do on this show. I will give some keys to the game that I think are going to be important for the Illini. First one being, I know I mentioned Rinkmast and Sam Hoiberg. I think one of the most important matchups, though, given the fact that Kylan Boswell, I think, could contain Sam Hoiberg, and I do believe in the Avicic brothers' ability to contain Rinkmast and also throw David Mirkovich in there at times as well too to play on him defensively. I think one of the most important matchups we're going to see is Price Sanford, the little brother of Peyton Sanford. He's an Iowa transfer. He can really light it up. He's a good shooter. He can drive to the lane. He can get inside. Um, we're going to need to see Keaton step up defensively. Keaton has been good defensively this year, Keaton Wagler, but this will be a game where he's potentially defending Nebraska's best player, depending on the night. Price Sanford has shown he could be the best player for Nebraska, depending on the game and depending on the matchup. Um, and I don't know how much Fred Hoiberg has scouted Keaton Wagler's defensive ability. I'm sure he's watching how he can hurt you offensively so far. But I do believe Keaton Wagler's defense will be one of the more important parts of this game. And I think he has the ability to get it done. I think he can shut Price Sanford down, but we're going to have to watch out for that. And then the second key to this game, is, which I said before, Rinkmast. I do think the Avicic brothers, between the two of them, now you got Buchtengel in there too. He's pretty tall as well, so they can throw two 6'10", 6'11" guys at the Avicic brothers. But Tommy looks like he's getting back to speed. Zvonimir has actually been playing pretty well compared to what I thought he would be at the beginning of the season. He's actually had a few of those rebounds where he just kind of rips them away from other players on the other team, and you're like, can you teach Tommy that? Because it's pretty bulldogish, and I like what I'm seeing from him. So between Tommy getting a little healthier and Zvonimir playing um, a little bit above what I thought he was capable of, I think they have the plus or the advantage in the rink mass Burke Buchengel matchup between them. Um, but those will be the two keys, I think, to this game. But if they go Illini's favor, if they go in the Illinois way, I think we see another win Saturday. Um, I think the Illini start off conference play 2-0, and then they get back to non-conference play against Southern and Missouri. I don't know why the Big Ten does that. They throw like two random Big Ten games in, and then they play some non-conference. But either way, um, I'm optimistic for this game. Now I have one more prediction I'd like you to make. Do you think we see the Balkan block between or behind the bench again? They were in the locker room after the game, which is insane. I don't know. I think one of the guys was like a huge donor or something.
Well, apparently one of the guys was the owner of Cam's.
Oh, okay, that would make sense because it's like they knew somebody to get into the locker room.
They were lit. They were
They were
so
awesome. They had
amazing.
cigarettes post game, and I know we said that on the last podcast, and we were talking about them. But do you think we see them again, or is that? Or,
Oh, for sure. I mean, they have to have him back. They were such a hit, and they're good luck charm. Everything, it's all good luck charms. They're the good luck charm. The hat's the good luck charm. We
Jelly
gotta
roll's the
keep
good luck charm.
we gotta keep it all rolling right now. Yeah, Chillinois. I mean, guys, since we started this podcast, I mean, forget about the first couple games, but we're on a roll right now. I mean, I don't want to say that we're, responsible for Illinois' success, but I would like to say, give me some NIL money. Let's make a deal. At least get us out to the games, get us some courtside seats, dress us up in orange. I look damn good in orange. I'll wear a whole orange jumpsuit. I'll wear this hat. I'll wear some moon boots, whatever you want. I'll do a little dance. I just want to meet Andre. I want to see him in the flesh. I want to touch
Did
his
I tell
hair.
you? Did I tell you? I don't know if I mentioned this. I feel like I had to, but because no, actually, because we didn't do an Alabama post game. I think I texted you this, but when I was at the United Center, uh, halftime or right before halftime, I go to take a bathroom break, and I'm taking a whiz in the stall, and I look to my left because there was a very tall man that was next to me, and I was like, whoa, he's like hovering over me. Look to my left, it's Peja Stojakovic. I figured that would be probably a really horrible time to ask him for a selfie. He's
Oh,
getting
you got to ask him, and then that could be the thumbnail of the video. Like, yo, check it out.
mid-pace at the United Center. I don't think asking Peja Stojakovic for a selfie at that time was the move, but unfortunately, I'm the only one that could say I did that because no, everybody just has to take my word for it for that exact reason. Um, but I
I
don't know.
believe you though, for the
Yeah, we were sitting in the 100 levels behind the basket, and he was definitely there that night. So I'm not sure where he was sitting, but I'd imagine pretty close to the court as well. So just so happened that, and then walking out, it was funny. I kind of had like a starstruck moment, and I looked at the other people in line, and I was like, "You guys know that's Peja, right?" Which is probably not the best thing to say because now he's got like five people behind him ready to take a piss, and they're like, "Oh, that's Peja right in front of me." So I could have really screwed
you
him up.
go into the stall right next to him. You're like, "What's up?
Hey,
Hey."
Peja Stojakovic, if you see this podcast ever, I'm sorry if I exposed you in the men's bathroom at the United Center. I hope it wasn't too big of a deal for you, but at least I didn't ask for a selfie. I figured that would be the worst possible time. But anyways, Nebraska on Saturday at 3 p.m. in Champaign. The number 13 Illini will be facing the number 23 Nebraska Cornhuskers. This is going to be an interesting matchup for the Illini. No, I know you think we can get it done. I'm optimistic as well. But we'll definitely have a recap for you guys after this game. Noah, thanks for joining me once again. ILL, man.
I and I.